Alright. Oof, we are live. Okay, let's just finally we are live. Welcome everyone. Uh, in the meantime, while we are living, let us, to see if everything's okay. Yes, I do
Everything is
see
okay.
myself. Yes, yes, that is perfect. So, are you excited?
I'm very excited, very excited. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So we're going to be starting officially at 7, guys. So if anyone is here, we'll be starting at 7 in a bit. So stay tuned. Okay.
Peony will be joining us soon as well, I think.
Peony will be joining us cross border from abroad. Ah, let's see. Okay, this video is now live. Nice, lovely. And
Yeah, let's do share our videos.
if anything, you can always message. Okay, guys. So while we are waiting for everyone, feel free to just jump right in and yeah, ask us anything if you're there, and just ask us anything.
Hello, Leon is live. Hello, Leon.
Hi, Leon. How are you, Leon? How's your day today? Okay, so today, okay, guys, I know that there might be quite a number of questions that you guys want to ask. So we are going to be starting at 7 officially. So in the meantime, right, just write those questions in. Okay, write those questions in, and we'll answer them. We actually do have a bunch of questions already, and some of the really exciting questions that people ask will be like, what are social media features? You know, which social media platform do you want to start with? It's just so insane, right? With so many amount of social media these days.
It is, it is. And I'm just looking at the chat. I see that Leon is here. Kaylee.
Hi, Kayla.
Kaylee. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Kaylee.
Okay. So yeah, feel free to just pop right in. Any of your questions, just put that in, and we will answer them. In the meantime, feel free to share if you know that anyone who's suited for this. Feel free to share. Oh yeah, and we are going to be sending out a social media calendar. So while you're here, please, you can scan the QR code over there. Um, yep, and we're going to share the link later as well. So very exciting. Okay, so maybe while we are waiting, Omid, maybe you could tell your social media account.
The first time I had my social media account. Ooh. Now we're 2021, so that was exactly 16 years ago. It was back in 2004. But okay, at that time, okay, we didn't have this term social media. I was back in my hometown. We used one of the local platform, okay, where you could just create a profile. It was pretty much like Facebook at the beginning of its existence. That was very exciting, but for the international social medias, I started with Yahoo 360. I don't know if anyone have ever used that.
Never.
Yahoo used to have this social media platform where you could just create your profile and you can put your like what are your interests and some of the updates. That was like my early experience. And in 2008, it was Facebook.
Oh wow! Like I can't remember when exactly I have my social media account, but those thing called Friendster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know whenever I mention all these things, you guys could have possibly know my age, okay? But I'm not gonna say my age. But yeah, so there's like Friendster, but of course, I don't remember using Friendster as much. But Facebook was actually my first like social media account.
Yeah. Funny thing is, I've also never used Friendster, never used MySpace, but the start of my social media experience was Facebook. What about you guys? I mean, you guys can put in the chat. When was the first time you guys have experienced the social media? Kailai, Leon?
Yeah, what those were the days, right? Well, I think there will be a bit of a lag time. So while they are coming in with all the answers,
Okay.
let us, let us just fill up the gap, right? The 5-second gap. Yeah, so I think things have evolved over the years. Yeah, Facebook, then Instagram popped up. I mean, so much, like so many Snapchat, now TikTok, and what else?
There is a ton. Like I was studying about Chinese social media, and we are doing live streaming, right? You guys won't believe it. In China alone, there is more than 170 platforms for live streaming only. So it's like crazy, the numbers that go in and all. But anyway, if you're talking about Western countries, there's a bunch. I can name it like all day.
Yes, and I think China itself is actually very interesting because China is so huge, so big. I mean, pretty much, I don't know, a big chunk of population is in China. So different social media actually really specific groups of people, segment of people. So it has been it's a very different ballgame altogether.
Yep.
Okay, so is Peony in right now?
Yep.
Peony is here. Oh,
Hello.
nice. Hello, Peony. Okay, so we have another 5 minutes to 7. But in the meantime, Peony, tell us, when was the first time you had your social media account?
Ooh, I was on before high school, I think. I don't remember how long already. Before high school. How long already? Probably 10 years ago. Maybe more, 13 years ago probably.
13 years ago.
13 years ago.
Do you remember your very first post? Any of you guys?
I don't.
Yep.
Okay, who actually introduced this social media to you guys?
One of my friends, for me. Anyway, I was talking about local social media, right? It's very funny. At that time, we had dial-up internet. I mean, now you guys can guess my age. So we used to use dial-up, and I had to go to this like internet cafe to get like a fast-speed internet to use social media. I used to go with one of my friends, and he told me, like, hey, there's this place that you can meet people, blah blah blah. I just got on it. That was my friend. Well, he's watching this.
Okay, you're not saying anything bad about him, so
No,
it's
no.
fine. Yeah, so yeah, I still remember the internet cafe as well as the thing, and then it will make the sound.
Oh yeah, that's dial-up, and you get the line busy, and then your parents complain from the other side. Hey, I want to call someone. You just
Yeah,
disconnect.
I guess it has been quite a ride, like with social media coming out and things today. Look at how things are like today. Things have changed so much, and I think back then we just want to get to know our friends. Today we are relying on social media for so many things: purchasing, buying, getting feedback, everything, right? Even businesses are on social media these days. Back then it wasn't like that, right? Back then
Exactly.
things have changed so much. Things have changed so much. Okay, so we are 3 minutes to 7. 3 minutes to 7. So in the meantime, while we are waiting for everyone to just come back right in, do you have a story about a social media experience? Interesting story about a social media experience. If any of you guys also any of the viewers are also listening and you guys have a very funny experience or awkward experience, feel free to drop that in as well. So yeah, we start from you.
Oh, from me, okay. Let's go back to Yahoo 360. Since we are on April Fool, I remember this story. I had a friend who had his Yahoo 360 account, and this is difficulty. Anyway, I'm not proud of what I did, but he had difficulty logging into his account. And what I did is, I just replicated his whole account. And I told him, hey, come here. I just fixed your account. You can I can show it to you. Blah blah blah. And he got so excited, and he was saying like, "Hey, how do you do it? I want to access this account, that account." And he was spending like the whole day. He was talking about the things that he's planning to do with all this hacking stuff. And then at the end of the day, I got to tell him that, hey, this is just a different account.
So you created a fake profile of him.
Fake profile of him, and he got freaked out at the beginning. Like that. Not
That's
proud of that.
smart.
It's been 13 years from that time, but yeah, that's one story I can remember.
How about you, Peony?
I think we have all a phase where you created your second account, so you pretending to be someone else, right? So to just make it legit, so I try to talk to my own self in another account, like including the chats and etc. So well, that's embarrassing. And then my friend found out, and then she was like, "Okay, who is that? Is that your friend? How come I never seen them in school?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I just play along, but it's a fake account lah."
I had a similar experience too. So I liked the guy back then, and but I don't dare to talk to him. So I created another account, and the account that I created is the guy. So my guy account, when I talk to my crush, the guy that I like, right? And then I think about it like so many years later. I think about it. That's kind of stupid. I mean, where got such thing? Why do you get a guy to talk to another guy? Like, come on. So I think he kind of knows me, because I don't know how to keep my, I don't know how to hide my trail. But he never say anything. Okay. Yeah, well, guys, I think we have some of all this stuff, a bit of our story, our background. But in the meantime, it is 7 right now, and let's get started, guys. Are you all ready, Omid, Peony? Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, awesome, guys. So in the meantime, everyone, if you have any questions at all, feel free to write those questions into the chat. Okay. In the meantime, today we are going to just quickly introduce the topic to you. Today we are going to be talking all about social media, and I think we already know that with social media, I don't know how many people are not living with social media, but I think majority of the population is using social media one way or another, right, to connect with one another. And today, marketers use a lot of it to actually reach out to people. So I think like when we are talking about social media today, and a lot of people are asking, like they will be asking for their business. That's number one. They will also be asking about it for themselves, maybe because today a lot of people, when you ask them, what do you want to do when you grow up in the future, and people will just say, I want to be an influencer. So yeah, become social media influencers and so on and so forth. So we are going to tap into those kind of questions and those kind of topics, and how can you actually manage your social media better as well. So without further ado, I will quickly introduce, each of us will quickly introduce ourselves, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with Omid.
Okay, my name is Omid. I'm a digital marketer, as you might have guessed. Well, they call me Master Data. Well, I love data. I love crunching data using like Google Analytics mostly, and different like Google tools. And I love SEO. These are my 2 areas that I'm passionate about, and I have a couple of things to say about content marketing using like social media and things like that. And I love working with small and medium companies. I don't like big companies. Small companies are my favorite.
Oh, so you discriminate big companies, huh?
Well,
okay. Now the next up, Peony. Let's pop Peony right in.
Hello, I'm Peony. So I'm currently not in Malaysia.
So far away. Okay, she got stuck.
Yeah, my background is from, got stuck, sorry. So my background is from design. So I can create content as well. But also right now, I am just focusing on social media management rather than like creating contents, because we already have a team on that. And I really like to be in social media, even though I'm not a Gen Z, but I really like to follow TikTok Gen Z videos because they are funny. Yeah.
Okay, and thank you so much, Peony. And finally, I'm Audrey. Nice meeting all of you guys. All right. So I think you have some of you guys may have probably seen me. I'm very much very related to Next Academy. So I've been running. I'm a digital marketer, come trainer, come whatever, like consultant and everything. But I think really by the end of the day, one of the biggest passions I have is like marketing. And I was just recalling some of my past when I was actually studying in uni. Back then, there is no such thing as digital marketing, right? But when I was studying in uni, one of the dreams that I have is I say I want to be able to market like brands, big brands, and that the world would know one day. And sometimes, I thought about it and I realized, hey, I'm moving towards like one step closer towards my dreams. So it has been pretty nice. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let's get started with question number 1. Are you guys ready? Peony, are you ready?
Yep, let's go.
So the first question that people ask, like I think this one John was asking, is what are some interesting social media features that you recently come across and that we should definitely look into? So we start off with who's going to start? Peony or Omid?
Let's start with Peony.
Okay.
I can do that. Okay. All right. So I like Instagram guides. So it's basically you can create an article in your Instagram. And the good thing about this is because this is a new feature, if you got features by Instagram, your guide will be there and everyone can see in that country. So that's one of it. So you can recommend places, you can recommend product, or even you can recommend like certain posts with certain notes. So you can kind of explain that, okay, maybe I have guides on how to go to Jakarta, for example, in Indonesia. And then I'll recommend places, I'll recommend certain posts about maybe like coffee that you can get in this cafe and etc. So I really like that. Have you guys tried on
Nice.
that?
Have you tried?
Guys, not yet.
I've seen and I've like followed some guides on like fashion guides and so on and so forth, right? So those are some of the guides I've seen. But just to add on that, Peony, like what do you think businesses could do with those social media or Instagram guides that you've seen? How do you think businesses can leverage on that?
They can actually promote their own. So they can just go to their own guides and then they can promote themselves. So if it got featured by Instagram, then everyone can see your product or your post. And that's a good thing about it. Yeah.
Lovely. How about you, Amit?
My favorite, I have a few actually.
Okay.
Okay, one thing that is still on beta version and I see a lot of exposure is getting is YouTube Shorts. Okay, if any of you is watching that, if you have your phone with you, what you can do is you can just go to your YouTube apps.
Do you want to show them since your phone is like right in front of you, right?
My phone is with me.
Actually, Peony could also show the Instagram guides in a bit. So maybe you can prepare your phone in a little bit and then show it right into the screen. So in a bit, guys. But right now, let's just start off with Omid first.
I wish I could just share my screen, but let me look at that. When I go to my home, I'm not sure if you guys are able to see that.
Yeah, can see.
Yep.
Is actually look like this. So it looks like they call it YouTube Short. It somehow looks like TikTok videos. They are like short form videos that you can just swipe up forever, right? And I love those kind of videos. They are getting a great exposure. Like I can see accounts that have probably like 2,000, 3,000 followers, and they're getting like 3.6 million, the one I'm watching right now.
Wow.
11 million views, 300 views, and this particular tool is still in beta version. This is one thing that's been crazy, like crazy in a good way. I mean, it's getting a lot of exposure. This is one thing. Second thing is if you guys are using LinkedIn on your mobile phone, if you're using LinkedIn on your PC, you might not have watched it, you might not have seen it, but for a new feature, you will get a lot of exposure if you can get on that. But the only thing is that for now, it's only available for phones. Later on, I believe they're going to bring it to PCs as well, to laptops.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one, which most of you, if you're following social media news, is Instagram Reels.
Yeah, they're coming back in. They want to compete with TikTok. Okay, we're gonna see who's gonna win that game. I mean, it's not going to be anytime soon, but that'll be quite exciting. Yeah,
definitely.
Peony, do you want to be able to show the one that you see, your Instagram guides?
Yeah, I can actually just share screen. So
you want to share screen also can?
Yep.
Then let everyone else have a good idea what those things are.
Okay, can you guys see this screen? GoPro UK?
Yes.
Okay, so on here, the good thing about this is everyone can access it even though it's in desktop mode. So on here, you can see there's the guides. So the normal one will be on post. The guides is on just the left side of the post. So they have 6 products about outdoor and adventure. So if you click on it, you can kind of see what it is about. So they write an article and then they give some suggestion. So even though they are GoPro, they actually suggest their own product, which is GoPro Hero 9, 3-way, day tripper backpack, and etc. So this is like one of the guide. And when you click on this, for example, on here, I cannot click it in desktop, but actually in your mobile, if you are in US, you can actually just buy it straight away from Instagram without going to GoPro website. So that's the good thing about guides. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Like just one thing, guys, like right now with a lot of things that are happening, what we do foresee is that Facebook basically Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp, right? But basically I think in the future Facebook is trying to get businesses to be on board within their own universe, to within their own ecosystem without really getting out of the website. So like right now, very often people will, let's just say, come to Facebook, see an ad, click on that ad, and then they will get out of Facebook into the person's website, right? But but what we foresee is Facebook trying to keep the ecosystem within themselves. So in the future, people can actually buy, sell, and everything within Facebook and the Facebook universe itself. So yeah, in the future, people probably don't really need to have a website.
Very,
right?
very interesting point. Actually, China is doing that. I mean, I keep talking about China because I've been studying it for some time now. If you look at WeChat,
Yes.
you can do everything. Like we have in digital marketing, we do digital courses, I believe.
Yeah.
We have this customer funnel where it's basically a customer journey that goes through from the time that they get to know you, from the awareness until they purchase something from you. WeChat allows you to go through all those steps, and you don't have to leave it until you receive your product. Payments is through WeChat.
Yeah.
Everything, like you can have your shop, you can have your marketing campaigns, everything. Same thing happens to Douyin. If you guys are not sure, Douyin is the sister company of TikTok. It's the same thing. Like last month, they came up with Douyin Pay. And it's very interesting. And China, in terms of social media, is very advanced. I believe like we are going into that direction as well.
Yep.
In this part of the world.
Yeah, definitely. So if you guys would love to hear more about what we have found out and what we have been researching on China, digital marketing, Western digital marketing, feel free to come for our courses. Okay, our courses. Next Academy is going to be having our product launch bootcamp. So it's actually a physical digital marketing bootcamp. But these are some of the things that we actually talk about. So if you're interested to know more, feel free to join that as well. You need to get slot in some product placement.
Yeah, I think you can find it in the comments as well.
Yeah, you can find it in the comments as well. Yeah. In the meantime, let us go on to the second question. Okay, this one is asked by Aisha. So Aisha asks, which social media platform should they start with? Because there are just so many social media platforms, and now she has a business and she's just wondering like, wow, am I supposed to do all social media? Do I even have time for it? Yeah. So what do you all suggest? So who's going to take up first?
Peony, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Peony?
You are the expert when it comes to social media, so.
No, not really. But for me, I will see what kind of business that I'm starting with first. So if you are more into services, like if you are more into B2B, go for LinkedIn, because that's where you find other businesses, and then that's where your client will be. But if, for example, you're more into B2C and you're selling services to like the customer, for example, chiropractor or plastic surgery doctor even, now you can try to go to TikTok. Really, because TikTok, in there, a lot of chiropractor, a lot of plastic surgeon, they went viral then in TikTok because they just like share what they are doing in the daily, and then people like to watch that. So that's a good thing about that. And the good thing about TikTok is getting engagement and followers is really easy. And now you have even the shop button in your post. So people can just click into shop button and then they will direct them to your website. So I would suggest go to TikTok. If you want to be generalized, you can go to Instagram. So that's more into that, I would say. It's more into B2C. Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. That sounds good.
A bit like
all right. So how? Yeah, you got lagged a little bit, but I think we get the gist of that. How about Omid?
I'm actually on the same page with Peony. Like, as much as I hate this answer, but it pretty much depends on where your customers are. Anytime, any kind of digital marketing that you do, you would definitely want to go to your customer. You need to find out where are they, and then you can just get on there. And of course, like if you're a B2B, LinkedIn, Twitter. If you're a B2C, probably TikTok, IG. And if you're a content creator, what I would suggest is definitely you can see where your customers are, and also try to get on all the new features that these platforms are releasing, because that's where you get the most exposure, right? At the end of the day, Facebook, do is they want to push you to create content for them, and they want to keep people on your platform, on their platform. So usually when they release a new feature, they need more content on those features, and they will give you more exposure, so you can take advantage of that if you're a content creator.
Yep.
That's my take on that.
That sounds good. And I think, like, what we usually do, like, actually students do ask a lot of that question as well. And what we usually do, especially in class, right, it's really just understanding, hey, what businesses you are actually doing, and where is your target market, because your target market may be here, maybe there, where's your target market. And we also do understand, and this is what we actually tell, I mean, all three of us actually are involved in teaching, right, like teaching our next academy students. So we also do tell them that it's understandable that one person cannot do a lot of things, unless you have a social media team or a marketing team to help you manage everything. One person cannot do everything, and we needed to make sure that our efforts pay off. So and yeah, so what's the funnel? How can we take advantage of the latest feature to push our things out there? And how can we actually, and what kind of businesses that we do have, and which one is the most suitable ones? So those are some of the things that we actually do look into, and I think every businesses should just look into that. Without, you don't need to spray and play, right? You can be very targeted in your efforts as well. Okay, guys, sounds great. Okay, lovely. So now we also have a next question is, what are some of the common mistakes social media managers make? Okay, what are some of the common mistakes social media managers make?
The common mistake.
Who wants to start first? Okay, this time we're going to let Omid start first. Right?
Okay, I'm not going to throw it at you. All right. So first thing first, I believe lack of planning. That is one thing, and that is the reason that you guys need to download this content calendar that we put somewhere around here, right?
Yeah, what's the content calendar? Okay, you can see that
the QR code,
is popping up.
So lack of planning is one thing that a lot of social media managers, not the experienced one, but those people who are just getting started with social media are making. That is one thing that I believe you need to make sure you properly plan. There is different tabs that you can see in content calendar. I'm not sure if you'll get the time to go through it, but you can plan all your you can see like which type of post. That is one thing that a lot of people, especially those who are new to social media, make. Mm-hmm. Second thing would be lack of measurement. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Your favorite.
My favorite part.
Mr. Data.
I love dealing with data. Yeah. So there is actually two tabs in that content calendar that can help you measure your post to see what works, what doesn't work. Always look at the data. And the third thing, talking about like what works, what doesn't work, they don't usually look at what actually works. Okay. For example, if you're posting certain type of post and that gets more engagement, you might want to focus on that. You might say like, hey, I'm new, I don't know like what kind of content works. Then you can definitely go to 5 of your competitors, you see what kind of format, what is working for them, and you can probably
your turn. Is Peony here? When it's like cross-border, the undersea cable got some problems right now. Come on, undersea cable, work. I think Peony is like stuck right now. Okay, I think what I can do is I can give 1 or 2 cents lah. I absolutely agree that sometimes what is happening is that we lack like social media managers lack planning, right? Or lack, sometimes even lack the story, right? Like what are you trying to convey? Sometimes what we do see is sometimes people just want to hard sell, but there are some very good examples of content that where I think there are few to me, like checking out one of it. Okay, do a shout out to my burger lab because I also know those guys, but I actually really do love their content. And they always have the personality in there. And the content is not, I mean, image is one thing, right? They always have consistency in terms of visuals, but also in terms of the voice, right? And truth to be told, you can actually create personality throughout all your content. And sometimes we always forget about creating the personality. And the other few things that that really have really good personality that I could remember was the star. There's one period of time the admin, the social media person behind it was really, really cheeky. And everyone loved that person. Obviously, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but everyone loved that person. It's so sad. Like I don't remember. I don't think it is still as cheeky today. But you know, that person was there to create, like, to give life to that particular to give life to the star. GSC as well, right? There's a period of time where the GSC, MBOs, all the admins were like talking to each other. And the conversation is really funny, really cheeky, and they were being able, like, the social media doesn't always just need to be an informational site, but being able to see the personality and the character of the brand as well.
Something like humanizing the brand. Right?
Yes, humanizing the brand. I wouldn't say it's a common mistake, but I would say that sometimes it's something that a lot of us overlook. We forget to humanize the brand.
Correct.
Okay, Peony, are you back?
Yeah,
yes, Peony, how about you?
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree with you guys. So the lack of planning, the lack of measurement, and then also humanizing your brand. But I just want to add on, like, what was of the example of humanizing the brand. I think everyone knows about Wendy's in Twitter last time. Do you guys know about that? Like, it went viral. No?
Yeah, you're back again.
You're back again, yeah.
Okay. All right, really sorry about that. Yeah, but basically last time Wendy's was notorious about their roasting their own customer in Twitter, which is like really funny.
Roasting their own customer in Twitter?
Yeah, correct. You guys don't know about that? I thought it was.
I didn't know about
viral. That. And they are roasting like McDonald's and etc. So they are replying to McDonald's Twitter saying that, oh, you still use frozen beef in most of your burger, like asking those kind of questions. And it was really funny. And now if you go to Wendy's Twitter, you can kind of see that they have 3.8 million followers just following a fast food restaurant Twitter. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do a little bit of like funky stuff, right? Stuart said, yes, I remember Wendy's savage.
Oh, okay.
Very savage. Yeah, it was damn funny.
Hey, hello, Albert.
Hello. Okay. Okay. Now let's see the next one, right? So okay, as mentioned again, this quick one is that if you guys need a social media calendar, there is a QR code over there. Please, you can scan the QR code. If not, you can look at it from the chat area. At the chat area, we're going to be giving you the link as well. All right. So now let's head on to the next question.
Sure.
Okay, the next one. Very interesting. Why do I have more followers on Instagram than on Facebook? I have so many followers, but why so little of them see my posts? Right? Yes. So maybe I think this should be a little bit more about, I think, Facebook and Instagram algorithm. So I would throw the ball to both of you guys. Who wants to take this? Okay, I see Peony laughing there. Peony go like, this is my thing. Okay, go, you go, girl.
Okay, one word, money. Really. So, Facebook and Instagram, they really want your money, right? So they try to limit their posts. Sorry, not their posts, but your posts. So you need to pay more money to Facebook and Instagram just to let your followers to see your posts. But there's another way to tackle this. You can actually just repost your post into your Instagram story or your Facebook story, because in those stories, Facebook and Instagram cannot actually, hide your story to your followers, so people can still see your posts. So that is the reason why. Yeah, basically money.
Awesome.
That is why Gary Vee always like repost whatever post he put. He put it on his stories as well. Well, I'd like to add one more to that. Is of course one thing is algorithm, and second thing is there is actually a lot more content that is published these days. I was looking at some of the stats. Instagram every day has around 100 million. Anyway, the numbers might be off a little bit, but around 100 million photos. I'm talking about just photos shared on their platform. Facebook 350 million photos. So for your content to get lost there is very easy, right?
Yes.
So you might ask like, okay, how can we tackle this? There are certain ways. You can just tap into like different timing that works. One of the ways Peony mentioned, you can just repost it on your stories. There are like different tactics that you can tackle, but at the end of the day, always all these like social media platform, at some point, you need to look at them as a tool, right? Especially like Instagram, Facebook, they are pretty much a paid tool right now. TikTok, not yet, but at some point, if you don't get on it like fast enough,
Yeah.
I guess they will be a paid tool as well, right?
Yeah.
So that's my take on that.
That's good. I think sometimes it's so many social media that pops up. It's so overwhelming. Like people ask me, "Oh, do you have TikTok?" I'm like, "Dude, come on, another one." Oh, there's so many things to do already in my life,
Clubhouse.
right? So yeah, so one thing is that like what both of them said, like so like all this social media, but at the end they also want to generate revenue, right? Of course, they at the start when the when the platform is starting out, it's free everything, but the moment you hit the optimal level, manage a good amount of people, that's when you start monetizing. And then to start monetizing and reducing the amount of content that's going out. And those things happen. Okay, so apparently right now. How is it? Okay.
Is it okay?
It's
Actually,
is it still lagging?
I'll wait here first. Peony, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys, but a bit lagging.
A bit laggy.
Okay, so hopefully we are back again. Are we back? Okay, we are back. Okay, I kept everything that I just said in a really, really short manner. So, right now, a lot of social media are definitely the likes of Facebook, Instagram, and so on. But of course, TikTok is still not, I don't think they are still at the stage of acquiring new customers. So which is why you can see that, they're giving a lot of visibility, a lot of things, good time for you to get more people on board and stuff like that. So a few considerations to have is number one is which stage the particular social media is at right now, right? Like TikTok is still at the time where they want to get more people in. But if you think about Facebook, Instagram, and so on and so forth, they are at the time where they want to generate more money. And because of that, they will start restricting the amount of visibility that you have so that, they can generate more money. Um, but nonetheless, one thing is this, whatever social media that comes, free new features that comes out, take advantage of those because they want to promote their new features. So those are time for you to get a lot of visibility, right? The new features.
Oh, Harriet's asking, what's your take on Clubhouse?
What's your take on Clubhouse? Everyone, come on, Clubhouse, guys.
For me, I'm using an Android. I don't have Clubhouse. But one interesting thing is that if you look at a lot of platforms, they are getting on voice. I just got an update like probably a couple of days ago from Telegram
Yep.
that now you can have like voice shows on your Telegram group and Telegram channel that you have. Instagram, they have added like voice functionality, and they are taking on Clubhouse as well.
Yeah.
So I think voice is going to be the next big thing. I have not used Clubhouse, sadly. They have announced recently that they're getting on Android as well, so looking forward to use it. But Peony, have you managed to use Clubhouse so far?
Nope. I'm not an iPhone user, sadly. But
Oh,
I
Oh,
think
so sad.
I'm supposed to have to use
nowadays,
it.
but I think nowadays
But
not many people is in the Clubhouse really, because I heard my friends were in there, then they were like, oh, they are so fake. Actually, they're not like that. It's just that for show only lah. So they are playing to be a podcaster, like trying to be like the KOL, key opinion leader lah, which is like kind of true. Kind of true. You can kind of see that they are fake.
yeah, I think on Clubhouse, uh, I don't use Clubhouse too. I use Huawei phone, guys. So so we do have how to start a podcast, right? Okay, so in this case, I think very interesting because in place how you view it. So wait, okay. So sorry.
Everything is like
Just say sorry, everything's lagging to the chat.
But we can see that.
Hello? Okay. Okay, I think they got kicked out already, so I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. Hopefully you guys can hear that. Okay, really sorry about this. We have some internet problem going on. Okay, yeah.
I think you're back.
Ah, you guys are back? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I was
Okay,
confused for a
Peony.
bit.
Sorry. Why don't you answer this question
No
first?
worries. Sure. If I were to do content creation, would you recommend Clubhouse or to start a podcast? Okay. So Clubhouse again is kind of like a private Facebook group, so you can on top leave a actually invite to need to know these people first, and you don't have any fan base. I will not recommend you to go to Clubhouse because really the fan base, your followers, you are actually starting a Clubhouse podcast, for example. But if you want to go for a long term, because to be honest, I don't know if a Clubhouse is going to be a long term or not, just go for podcast. And you can always stream that to Clubhouse again, because to be honest, nobody really will know about that. And in Clubhouse, you cannot record your own audio, so you cannot just upload it into your podcast or etc. So you can do it other way, go for podcast, download it, and then just stream it to Clubhouse. So that's my take on that.
Nice. Yeah, I think that sounds great. Clubhouse could potentially be a place where actually I do know some people who try to gain quite a number of followers on Clubhouse, and potentially if you see that Clubhouse is where the people that you want is hanging out at, you can start getting in there first and then push them out to your podcast after that. right? So always remember, try, regardless wherever social media platforms that you're at, you want to be able to get the same group of people. Let's just say, even if I'm on Facebook, right? Let me see if I can get them to follow me on Instagram, to get them to follow me on LinkedIn. If you're able to, get your audience in one platform to follow you onto another platform and so on and so forth, that helps you build your follower base pretty easily. Yeah. Okay, so now let's head on to the next question. We have about, let's just see, 25 more minutes left. But yeah, okay, this is a very, very common question that a lot of people ask. A lot of our students actually ask this question, and that's why I guess that's why they try to understand what's happening. Say, I have a lot of people who write PM or DM, but there is no conversion. What should I do? So I think this question has been so common among our students, especially, right? Yeah, because a lot of them, I think, might be the same as you guys as well. You guys are starting businesses, growing your own business, or managing other people's business. And sometimes it's very frustrating. You look at a post, you see, wow, I got like 200 PMs. I'm sure these people are going to convert, right? And by the end of the day, sometimes after 200 PMs, people still don't convert. So guys, what should I do?
Keone, you wanna go first?
Okay, I think the internet
Keone's
is
like,
really
"Yeah."
laggy. Okay, wait, let me try. Let me try. Okay, so on this one, first thing first, maybe you need to ask how the conversion is happening. Is it on your website, or is it like they need to manually PM you to buy something? So if it's in the website, I would suggest try to remarket them. So people who message you, you can actually just create a custom audience in Facebook or Instagram and then try to remarket them with your ads. Basically, what I think is happening here is probably they interested in your product, but the closing part, which is like maybe is happening in your website, it's not enticing enough. So you need to look back into your website again. Is it actually converting or not in your landing page? Maybe you can see sometimes it could happen like, oh, maybe people are confused on how to convert, how to buy your product, and etc. So you need to go back to your landing page, just see what happened there, and then try to make it easier for them, and then again remarket them to that new landing page. That's my take on that.
Lovely. So for some of you guys who may be the first time doing, like, digital marketing, you may hear a lot of new terms. You may or may not have heard of it, but these terms like landing pages, should we be doing it? Those are certain decisions that needs to be made, and I think it's a bit hard to really explain the whole funnel to you in a very short period of time. But yes, if you guys would like to know more, we could do it for the next session, or you can just join us. Okay, how about you?
Well, on the same page with Peony, remarketing, meaning if you have the means to track who came to your website, and what kind of question they ask, I mean, who saw which pages of your website. If you have the means, this is something that I do, right? I use like tools like Google Analytics that you can track, okay, certain people, like which pages they have seen and how you can basically retarget to those people. If you have the means to do that, definitely remarketing is the best choice. And some other times you need to look at what people are asking. Okay, if let's and people are asking you like, hey, can I add like pickles to my sandwich, right? And maybe for some reason your sandwich doesn't have pickles. I don't know what kind of sandwich doesn't have pickles, but yeah,
My kind of sandwich, okay.
that might be something that you might want to add to your product. Just see like what kind of questions they're asking, and you might want to add that as an added value. And second thing is you might be targeting people who are at the beginning of the funnel. Anyway, again, as the customers are going through a journey, right? They will get to know your product, they will ask you some questions, they will do some comparison shopping, and then they will make a purchase. You might be targeting people who are at the beginning of the journey. For example, if you go on Facebook and you're going for like reach or going for more eyeballs, you might be targeting people who are at the beginning of the fund, where they might not have the intention to buy right away, but they do ask the question, which is on the bright side a good thing, right?
Yeah, at least they are asking questions.
At least, yeah.
It's better than they are not asking questions. It's just that you might need to take some time to nurture them before they choose to make the decision. All right. Okay, to that question. Okay, so the next one is.
I think there's a question.
Oh, there's a question. What do you think of email marketing? How effective is this tool? Let me answer this. Okay, I'll answer this.
All right.
Okay, email marketing. Of course, some people are saying that hey, use email as much anymore. People are going to be using a lot more like mobile and stuff like that. But nonetheless, email marketing, it's not very. If you're able to obtain their email, it's not really expensive to be able to blast the email out to them, and it's totally fine, right? You can blast those emails out to them. When you're talking about how effective it is, I think there are different strategies to go about it, right? So, for example, if you let's just say so I was just telling, I always tell my students, some of these are low hanging fruits, right? It doesn't matter if the person, you doubt like, hey, if the person is going to use email or not. But nonetheless, it's cheap to blast. The moment you get the email, it's very cheap for you to blast an email out. So just do it, right? Just do it. Because if the person opens the email and find it interesting, then the person is going to buy your product, right? So it's not like every email you send out is going to be like $10. No, it's really cheap for you to blast emails out these days. So one way is to always nurture and to follow up with your current customers. So that's what we call low-hanging fruits. And then of course, you also have the part where people talk about cold emailing, meaning that I didn't actually give you my email, but somehow you managed to get it. I don't know how you got it, but you get it. Okay, you got my email. In those cases, if you say that if it's going to be effective or not, the truth is, even though you can say it's not, like some people say it's not really effective, but if you actually give the correct value, and sometimes the email list can be the cold email list can be very broad sometimes. You may be able to fish one or two out of it, right? But don't expect the open rate or the click rate to be high. So that one is really spray and play, like just spray and pray, like please, right? And then of course the next one is this. The next one I think will be to look for people who have a very strong email list base. So these people could be bloggers, right? And these bloggers, they will have a very big fan base. And depending on how they reach out to the fan, if they reach out to the fans through emails, one of the things is through emails, try to take advantage of that. So this is actually more encroaching into the influencer sort of marketing, where you can look for these bloggers / influencers / KOLs, see how they are communicating with their people, and they may communicate with their people via, let's just say if they communicate via YouTube, fair enough. Get them to do videos. But I'm not too sure in Malaysia, but then abroad, especially in the US, there are big chunks of people who communicate with their fans through emails, to update their fans through emails. And I have friends who are in the US who did that, and they got really, really good returns. So it really depends. But nonetheless, email marketing, as mentioned, is not very expensive anymore. You can just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Both of you guys have anything to add, or we can move on to the next one?
Well, you mentioned it all. But one thing is that I feel like in this part of the world, you mentioned the US, people are like providing value. The way we look at email is like we just blast out an email and we are expecting to make a sale. But we have to basically nurture that lead, right? If it's your own list, Andrew is asking, right? If it's your own list, I believe you need to nurture them, build that relationship, provide some sort of value. After maybe 5, 6, 7, 10 emails, the more you nurture them, the more conversion you will get, right? After that, you go for the ask. Not right away, you just blast them an email, hey, come on, buy my product. I feel like we need to nurture them, no matter which social media, even like if you're using like Facebook, Instagram, whatever, you need to provide some sort of value and then you go for the ask. I think adding to your points, that's my take on that.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. That sounds absolutely good. Okay, I think just for the interest of time, let us just try to finish up some of this questions here. Okay, we have the next question. Can you recommend any social media management tools, either free or paid? This one is asked by Joshua. All right.
I can take that question.
Oh, okay.
But
Wow, volunteers. Oh, finally.
I love playing with all these marketing tools. Two of the tools that you might be familiar with, Joshua, I'm not sure if he's watching this right now. Two of the tools that are my favorite are Hootsuite and Buffer. Okay, I favor Hootsuite more because they provide insight, they provide data. Okay, you can use that if you want to go for free tools, because each of them limits you to 3 accounts, and you can schedule only 10 posts. Okay, you can subscribe to both of them. If you want to go for a free ride, just connect 3 of your accounts to here, 3 of your accounts to there, and then you can schedule it. Facebook, they have one caveat. What is it? If you look at this live video on Facebook, there is like a little thing on the top that says published by StreamYard. StreamYard is a tool that we're currently using. I think you can see the logo somewhere on the top.
Somewhere, yeah.
So they say like published by this tool. For me, I don't really like that. I don't really like to announce like
authentic, right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel authentic. So for that tool, you might want to use the low native tools that these social media platforms provide. Facebook, I believe they have Facebook Creator Studio, right? Peony, do you want to shed some light on that? I think that's one of the tools that is great.
Yeah, so actually for Facebook and Instagram, I have moved to that tools, which is Facebook Creator Studio, because I don't know why, but I feel like maybe in the future, Facebook want to monopolize their own website, which is Facebook and Instagram. So there are certain features that I'm just afraid in the future, maybe in Hootsuite or Buffer, Facebook will not allow people to actually just post on that. So I will just go to Facebook Creator Studio, and in that site you can connect your Instagram, you can connect all of your Facebook account, all of your Facebook page, and etc. And then you can straight away schedule post video and even schedule straight away to Instagram and Facebook in one go. But the bad thing about this is you cannot post Instagram story yet. So Instagram story, you still need to do it manually. But the rest, you can do it everything there. Even Instagram TV as well, you can do it directly in Facebook Creator Studio.
That's the thing. Okay. All right, I think we are almost there. Okay, guys, like what is one social media content that you like? So I hope you guys have something in mind. What is your favorite social media content that captured your attention?
I think mine is not like a content, but it's a series of content.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me
Are
share.
you sharing something?
Yeah. Okay, let me share. Okay, so I am Indonesian, so I'm sharing an Indonesian brand. I'm not working with them, so I just like them and I follow them. It's called KITC. So they are clothing brand and they are selling cute stuff. But obviously their target market, like target audience is more into otakus, people who like anime, right? Like this one and etc. And the funny thing is, I'm not sure if you guys know about AOT, Attack on Titan. They post certain memes and then they got a lot of engagement on it. And there was one thing here, because at that time, Attack on Titan was on trendy, right? And then they actually post this carousel images of fan art of Attack on Titan, and people like it. And the funny thing is, in the caption, I'm not sure if you can read Indonesian, but basically the caption is about the designer got pressured by the boss to create all of this in just 10 minutes. So the boss was like, they even like put it here, like designer, 10 minutes, and then boss is like, you want to get pecat or not, or something like that. And then designer like, okay. Then they say, okay, this is the result of the speed draw, please appreciate it, don't forget to like and comment. And in the comment, people were like siding with the designer. And then they're like cursing the boss lah. But a lot of them also said that please jual means like please sell this, like sell this, sell this, sell this. And then in the end, they create another series. So this one is the second one. You can kind of see that how much like that they got, like 5,178 comment. But if you go, for example, like this one, they only have one comment. So it went really viral on this one, right? And then in the end, they created the shirt here. So
nice.
in the end, they created that because people like it. Yeah, so I like that because it's a very funny story and it's a series of content lah. Yeah, so that's from mine.
Lovely.
Okay.
Okay,
How about you?
Why don't you share?
For me, I really like Thai ads. I love anything Thai, right? Yeah, I guess it's not a series of content, but I find it very amusing because pretty much all the content that really goes viral to me is always pretty much Thai ads, right? And they are always, they are always trying to go for the heartwarming or the funny scene and stuff like this. And sometimes I was like looking at the thing, it's really nonsensical, or the whole video or the whole content is not related to the product. But because the whole video is so funny and the product just appears for a while, I actually do remember the product, right? Let me see if I could share. I think this one would be something. Share screen. Okay. So your entire screen. Share. So this one, right? I mean, there are many ads, but look at all some of these ads that you can see, right? I mean, we're not playing these videos, but I'm trying to find the one that I saw the last time that I really liked.
I remember they got
Okay.
like the cockroach ads. It was very funny. Do you know
Yeah,
that?
the cockroach one. Yes, exactly. The cockroach one is also really funny as well. This one is the sister, the older sister. This one, I believe it is the insurance ad or something like that. Like, I actually do remember a lot of all these ads until this very day, and this one has always these have been around for a long time, right? And there is something that they are doing that is working, which is why we are remembering it until this day, right? These are not last year's ad. These are like maybe at least three. I think this one let me just see. When is this post, right? Okay, so this is 2020, but a lot of all these ads were probably in 2019 or 2018 or before that even. And I can still remember it until this very day. And this year is 2021. And being able to have head space, being able to claim a head space in my head means a lot of things because there are so much content that just comes in every single day. But I can still remember this content. It really means something. So personally, we really should all take inspiration from the Thai ads. I think that they're doing something right. They're definitely doing something right for me.
Yeah, true. Thai ads are pretty good.
Yeah. How about you?
You,
Do you
Omid?
have any?
Okay, when it comes to I can show you tons of short videos. Like I can in particular, I don't have any right now. But yeah, I if you guys want, you can just follow me. I can send you the videos that I like.
All right. I think it's something, right? Like being able to do storytelling is definitely one thing. And I think sometimes when we're talking to our students, and students always ask, how do you do storytelling? How do you write good content, right? Because it's so easy when we create content, especially for business. The first thing we think about is hard sell, hard sell, hard sell, sell. But you don't always need to go that route. But the question is, how then do you do it in a way that's funny, humorous, heartwarming or whatever it is that people would want to look and to share, right? I think that is definitely one thing to look into. How do you storytell in that manner? Okay. Okay. The last question for the day. So the last question is, how do I grow my social media follower?
Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first? Okay, Peony is just shaking her
She's
head.
shaking her.
Oh, okay, I will
This
start.
one is
Get
hard.
onto TikTok. So it's actually quite true. Like, there's this particular friend. Funnily enough, I actually never met him in real life, but we became friends on social, like on Facebook, and then we start talking and things like that. So when you guys can actually follow his Instagram, no, his TikTok, it's called Hubert CEO, something like that. When he first started off, you can see that he was trying a variety of different ways, different creatives and different content. And what is very interesting is that he tests. He tests like this content he tests for a period of time, then the next content he tests a period of time, test until he hit. The moment he hit the right content, right, in a very short span of time, when I say it's less than a year, for him to hit 20K took a long time, right? From memory, for him to hit 20K took a long time. For him to hit 100K, probably about a month, 100K. For him to hit 1 million, very short time, right? Because the moment he managed to get the kind of content, he just tests all his different content. The moment he get the right content, he just sticks with it. So actually, right now, you can go and check it out. It's Hubert CEO, I think. I'm so sorry, Hubert, but okay. You can start seeing his content, and I actually take some time to scroll back. He had a lot of content, but I scroll back to all the content that he had, and you can see how his content has evolved. So, and also the next thing is TikTok, for example, or any social media platforms. They're new, or when a new feature appear, those are the time for you to take advantage of it, because the visibility of your post is going to be tremendous. So yeah, lor, how do you want to grow? Grow like that, lor. The last way is pay money, lor. Pay money and run ads. Actually, this is actually something someone told me. Pay money, run ads in have a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Someone who actually runs social media account for a really successful business actually told me that. But I mean, it's just the numbers, right? Just the numbers. But nonetheless, sometimes numbers look good, and it helps you to get more numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about both of you guys?
I think some of my points you mentioned, humanize, that's
Yeah.
one thing. Just give them a reason for people to follow you, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if you
yeah.
just want to hard sell to them all day, no. I mean, you yourself, if you want to follow someone and you feel like they're hard selling all day, continue following them, right? And be more visible, I can say.
Yeah,
Like
more
use
visible.
hashtags, locations, and all these things that they give you. Be more visible. Like Instagram has this tab, this location. You can see like who are nearby you, and then they post it.
Yeah.
So try to utilize this, and also new features. Audrey mentioned new features are great tools. I mean, great way for you to get free exposure, especially on platforms like Facebook, Instagram that are saturated. Get on the new free features that they are providing. So those are a few things that I can say.
How about Peony? You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think nowadays the easiest will be TikTok, right? Because it's still the algorithm is still okay, not like Facebook or Instagram, and the chance of you being discovered is really easy, really like high lah, I would say. So one thing I learned that you need to find your niche first. You need to find your audience targeting first, and then try to create content that they likes. Like again in Audrey one, so Audrey's friends, the Hubbard one, he actually tried to find the correct content for the niche, which is like the funny one. Because I actually discover Hubbard CEO also, right? CEO Hubbard D or something like that. Yeah, in TikTok, because he's quite popular in TikTok. Yeah, so I would just find your niche, and then try to be consistent about your content. Yeah.
What's your idea on buying followers? Yes or a no?
Buying followers?
Yep.
5 followers?
Okay, not to say it depends, but then if very often when you buy followers, those are not real followers. When those bots comes in, and then all these people would just suddenly all this like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they already have seen all those things, and they will just at one time just help you clear up all the follower base again, and then you need to start from
Yeah.
scratch again. So, yeah.
And I think it will actually do more harm than good, to be honest. Because if Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram and
Yeah.
even TikTok know that, oh, you actually buy followers, maybe they don't know yet. But when you post some things and then you have low engagement, even though you have a lot of followers, then they will thought that your post is not doing well. So they will stop showing your post to other people. Because even in your followers, they don't like your content. So I would suggest not to buy any followers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So right now it's 8. This sharp, right? At
Sharp
8,
8.
guys. Wow, perfect. And okay, guys, we're gonna be doing this quite often, pretty much every week, I guess. We're still
Yeah.
planning it out. And we're gonna be doing a series of different things. For example, this time around we're doing we're doing all about like social media. In the future, we'll be doing SEO. The next one is SEO, and we're gonna be doing SEO audit as well. If you guys are interested, feel free to join our SEO session. And if you would love to, feel free to pop your website right in and we'll do an audit for you. Okay. And we intend to do a lot of audit sessions. So do follow us on Facebook, do follow us on Instagram. And yeah, do be up to date. Like that's one of the best ways to be up to date with us. And yeah, definitely very willing to be able to walk this journey with you. In the meantime, quickly, if you guys want to have the social media management calendar, sorry, I don't know if this site or that site. Okay, if you want to have the social media calendar, feel free to scan this code, or we're going to be sharing it onto the chat. Please, feel free to actually go to the chat and click on the link, and we will send you the social media calendar tomorrow. And finally, guys, I mean, it's almost at the end already. Finally, guys, if you would love to be able to speak to us or to mingle with us or to actually learn together with us, we are having our classes, the digital marketing bootcamp that's coming up soon on April 10th. Really excited to be able to have you with us. And one of the things that we're doing is we also would, when you're coming to class, we also would want to hear about what exactly are your business like. Is it a service? Is it e-commerce? What is it like? So we want this class to not just be something where, we dump you information, but we want you to be able to have the capability and the capacity to actually build marketing campaigns for your own business, specifically for yourself as well. So this is something that we actually do in class. Without further ado, thank you so much, guys. Right? Almit, Fiona, you guys have anything else to add before we go?
Awesome. Thank you so much. Exciting journey.
Thank you. Thank you, Esther.
Okay, guys. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Yes, finally. Bye-bye. See ya.